Okay, so this thing has been standing here for at least 20 years, not being used. It's supposed to work, so we're gonna test that out. So this was bought by my father's father's father back in 1959. So the brand of this is a Porsche Junior V. I think the V stands for that it has PTO. Yeah, the plan is to get this out, getting this started again, and test some stuff it had. I know this thing has had tracks. I heard some stories about that on this. I gotta install the tracks. That's one thing I gotta try. Buy some new tires. These are pretty run out. And well, just trying some tooling this had. Cutting some hay and stuff like that. My winch is starting to give up. I need to kind of knock it to work. The tires are something I gotta need to change out. These are completely rotten. I mean, it's been standing like this for so many years, so it's just... So I remember being a kid driving around with this in the summers. That was quite a long time ago. I think I was right 9, 10, something like that. Driving around with this thing. Let's see if there's oil. Yeah, there's a little oil in the bottom here, so we do have oil. So I gotta get rid of this little cab here. I think it's cooler without this thing. I mean, it's still, it doesn't have a windscreen or anything like that. It's just kind of rotten here. I believe you were putting the ignition on here and pushing that to start, if I remember correctly. Put some of this here just so it can release. Oh, there we go. Still dead. So I guess this is the kind of a sump filter. The only thing there is to filter this oil. You can see there's a lot of water droplets in this oil. But I mean, this has been probably not changed for 40 years. So I'm just curious to see what's inside here, so let's take that off. Oh, you can see in the crank here. Let's have a look inside of this. What is that pipe? Is that what's sucking up the oil? Going through, maybe that was going through the filter there. Let's put this back in and see if it lines up with that thing. Yeah, that's going in there. So I guess that is what's sucking up the oil. So this should be the air intake here. So it's just the oil bath too. The air is getting pushed through the oil and all the dirty stuff is getting filtered by the oil. It's getting stuck in the oil and the air is slipping through there. So that diesel line started dripping now when I touched that. It's a rod and hose, so I guess we can just lift this up before it starts leaking too much. There we go. So this got the old diesel smell, the paraffin smell. Oh, it doesn't look too bad in here.
How are you supposed to unscrew this? Or just pull it out?
What is this used for? I think this is just used for pulling the filter up. So this is sliding down, this is locking that. Yeah, this is probably just for pulling that up. Take a picture of these numbers. got a green light. I think the Rangers are gonna start walking over the bridge now. So it's a rain weather coming in and I want to get the tires on to get this down to the garage before that arrives. But I gotta get this off first before putting on the tires.
Inte fingrarna bara.
So there's our compartment here for a lot of old stuff. You can open that here. A lot of old screws. An old buckshot. So I gotta mount the fuel tank back again there. I think this filter should fit. Nah, need to get a bigger one. But something I gotta do is I gotta remove the cylinder from this to see the piston, how it looks. I mean, the compression in this is kind of bad. I don't know if you can see better if I spin this motor around, but it feels like it's a little bit too light to spin this around. So let's take the piston out, seeing how the rings looks on that. Yeah, so I did put a little drops of oil in this. Okay, so there's 4 bolts, there's 2 bolts. I guess it, yeah, well, let's just disassemble and see. So this cylinder might have a slight cooling problem looking like this. It's totally covered in goo here. So just when I was about to loosen the cylinder, I did a test compression on this and it's actually really good now. It's a big difference from what it was. So what I think happened is that the piston ring did loosen up somehow. I guess since I put an oil in there and started messing around, it just, well, they loosened up. So this is acceptable compression is in it right now. So I'm not gonna take this apart. It just feels so, I'm kind of curious. I want to see how the piston looks, but it feels like I'm just gonna break and it's just gonna be a mess taking that apart. So I'm gonna just tighten the bolts here and test start this just to see if it works or if I still need to take this apart. So I'm not sure why I took these screws out. You only need to loosen up these two and the screws under this to get the cylinder out. So just when I got everything back together again, the compression is gone. So I had compression, but now it's gone. So I don't know. I'm guessing that it's just there were oil in the cylinder that sealed up, and so now when the oil's gone through, it's not sealing anymore. So what I gotta do now is I'm gonna wash this bottom part here. Just so when I'm ripping the cylinder off, that the dirt ain't gonna just slip in there. It's kind of easy to roll this thing though. So there's a crack going from the inside here. You can feel it a little bit just on the inside here. Let's turn that around. So you can see here on the other side, it's been welded here, here, and here. So, I mean, I guess it was poor times back in the days, trying to fix it like that. But I guess it worked. So, so for the piston here, this ring is complete. But this ring has, yeah, that is broken off. It's like all the other rings seems to be kind of good, except this upper one. I don't know, this piston doesn't look that bad. Feels like I could just get new piston rings. I'm gonna see what kind of parts I can find. We may end up with a new complete set though, but depends on the price on all this stuff. And there it goes. I mean, this upper part feels fine. You can feel where the cracks are here when you go a little bit lower. It's like a little ridge there. So it's 2 weeks later now. I did order some parts for this. One thing was this, a seat cover. I mean, just a short ride here down to the garage sitting on that thing. It was really not that comfy, so we gotta go with this. So this wasn't even that expensive. It was like 50 euros. So I also got some head gasket And this is just shim for the cylinder. So I did buy myself a new cylinder for this, complete with a piston. Here's the old cylinder here. So I guess just all the welding they did here. I guess this was kind of a bush job back in the days. So when they welded this, it actually cost, because it's a crack on new spots. So yeah, that's why I got new stuff. I guess we gotta get real different in compression with this. Oh, it's gonna be fun getting this together again. So I also got this. So this is a part washer for small parts. Really neat to clean stuff with. This one is going here. Yeah, I would like this a little bit higher. You're kind of standing like a half-cooked spaghetti right now, but yeah, it's kind of easy just lengthening the legs, cutting this off, just lengthen them. So I also got this. So you're supposed to mount them straight like that. You got it. So this is just some cold degreasing fluid meant for these kind of stuff. Bolts. Okay, there we go. It's got a lot of grip here. So I can then take the excess liquid, and that's neat, I guess. So it's gonna keep on washing parts here. I think there's the same one going here, since I got 4 of these, yep. So this one got a little damage here, you can see it's got some dents, but that's nothing that matters. There's 2 shims here. I don't know if I should. I did buy one new shim just for the sake of it, in case I needed one, but so the shim is just to get the correct distance from the piston to the top. So I took the old shim out, and one of them seemed to be 0.3 millimeter, and this was the other 0.1. So this new one is also 0.1. So I might as well just use the new one together with the old. Come on, go in there. Oh, it's in. Oh, it's in. So now we're gonna turn this 9 degrees. We got the holes there where it's supposed to be. Ah, it's kind of hard putting with your cheek there. I think I almost, yep. So this distance here, the piston to the head clearance is it's kind of hard to measure with tools like this but it seems to be around 1 millimeter on the minus side. So I tried searching for the correct piston to head clearance here. I didn't find anything, but I think minus 1 millimeter should be on the good side. I did find an old bulletin from the 60s that said the top should be tightened in around 60 Newton meters. So oil up to there. So that's good. So the air gets sucked in here, down in the oil. All the loose particles and stuff like that coming with the air will get stuck in the oil, and then the air is continue without anything other than clean air and goes into the motor. So I'm out of hose clamps now, but we're just gonna remember to put hose clamps here. It's gonna be fine without, but we're still gonna put some. I'm not sure how much oil this will take, but we got the stick here, so we can just. Okay, so the level is there. I'm good with that. Get this dry. we gotta give this a test start. I've been eager to do that, so I gotta tow start it. So it's just so it didn't want to start. Well, it kind of started. You could feel the cylinder, it was getting hot. But I think there's a fuel delivery issue here. I wonder if this thing is for priming the fuel pump. Feels like something that should do that. Doesn't feel like we're getting a pressure though. So what if we open this and try bleeding it? Just gonna see if there's diesel coming here. Seems to be diesel here. What if we touch this thing now? Okay, now it's starting to spit out. Maybe it was just some airlock there. So putting this back. I'm gonna see if I can get pressure now and pumping. So. I gotta do a test just seeing if that starter is working on this. It should be 12 volts. This is working good. Okay, I really believe there's a fuel issue here. So what if we open this, just seeing if there's anything coming here. So let's try starting this again. Nope. All right, let's try full searching this. Before taking this off, could it be so easy that this thing is not really, something is just rusted stuck there? I mean, it's been standing for probably over 25 years. So if, it seems like there says stop there and an arrow that way. So by pushing this in, no diesel is coming. Maybe it's stuck in that. Let's just give it a little tap. So if I open this breather screw here, so the diesel is, I mean, it's gravity fed. The tank is so high, so it just starts pouring from this. So there's no point opening that. Okay, now it started pouring, so I guess it's just diesel in the hose here. Shouldn't gravity fed upwards, should it? I guess we're gonna find that out. Yeah, it's streaming out there. So if we, yes, we can check this function with that. If that is correct, it says stop there. This is max out. And it's still just pouring through. So what if we put this here? Nah, it's still pouring through even though doesn't matter what I do with this. So luckily we have this hose we can use to close this. Should be long enough. Can I remove this pump? We're gonna see what's wrong with it. Oh. I don't know why that is, but this bolt is off. You see, they're taking off a lot of. I wonder why they did that. Okay, so the long screw is going here. Let's see how this thing works. So, does this plunge? Yep. I don't know. Oh, you're meant to be able to spin this around. There was a stop when I tried doing that. Oh, now I see. So this long screw here, that little pin in this, is locking this thing to just spin around if you want to pump that. Why is it doing that? Maybe it is so you can't leave it in a bad position like this. So this is like a security pin or some sort. This seems to work. So we're gonna check the pump. Okay, so you can see on the inside here, that thing, I mean, that ain't moving. Feels like that thing should be moving. That these tooth are gonna interact with that thing. Is there a spring in here? Oh, there's a spring. Now I can see the function there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's moving in there now. I looked at this for a while, and this is everything I can get loose from that. The only thing that's been making a problem was this. This was kind of stuck in here, but now when I got it out, it's smooth sailing here. If we look inside this thing, when I move this, the thing inside is moving. So you can see this thing actually have a slot there, or a groove. If you look at, so this is the thing that goes in that. There's no slot in this. So that groove inside of this has to be something for the tool that's meant to pull this out. If you look at the back side, there is a locking pin here. But yeah, not sure if you're meant to get this out this way, or if it's only meant to go that way. I don't really feel like putting force onto this stuff. It's sure gonna break, and I don't want that. The only thing really left to do is for me to try to see if we got any difference when cleaning all these parts. I don't know. I gotta put everything back and just try it. If not, I'm gonna need to find some manual for this. But that's gonna get pushed down. Because now you can see the hole there is moving. Didn't do that before. So that was going like that. This going there. I like this seal, wherever that is taken from. I'm gonna leave that. I guess this works. Gotta leave that a little loose so we can prime it. Oh, dang it. Forgot to put this in. But we can just test it now and I can put that in later. There's no fuel pouring. So since this is working now, before putting everything back together, I'm gonna change all the oil in the undercarriage here. Then we're gonna install them. I'm gonna see if I can find, there's a sickle mover that you can mow grass with, that you connect to this. I'm gonna see if we can find that, and we're gonna put this to work. And we're gonna see if we can find the tracks for this also, and put them on. Hit level on this. Oh, you see that? There's just water coming. I hope that's not all what is. Maybe it's the water in the bottom. Yeah, I'm glad I'm changing this. So the oil I'm using is a transmission oil, which is a GL1. It has no harsh additives in it like newer oils have. So let's see, we're gonna, I think 1.6 liters per reduction there. Okay, that's good for one. Yeah, let's use this. Yeah, I can't be in a rush when doing this. So this is full, it's been starting to pour out there. So this oil wasn't that bad. Consider it's been probably not changed over 50 years. This oil on the other hand, this oil is bad. Felt like it was like, I don't know, 40% water in this. So this is the last thing to change, and this is for the steering. So I've been leaving this to drip for almost an hour now. And I close it. I also put in some fresh oil, just so it can take all the old stuff with it. Same for the transmission there. So the hose didn't fit in this, and this kind of exactly fits, but the angle is a little bit too low, so I'm gonna raise it. From the information I found, this is supposed to take 0.9 liters. So this transmission is 8.5 liters. I'm gonna try feeling straight from this. It's gonna take forever doing that with it's gonna take forever doing that with the funnel. Oh, maybe I put a little bit too much in this. What if we do it like this? Going for the side. Just the first stream, then it's easy to keep the flow consistent there. Where is that? Yes, yeah, it's gonna be exact here. That's good. That's a good level. I'm gonna put the exhaust back. We got the new... Seems to contain stuff. Well, I can't really say I'm that big of a fan of this exhaust. It's kind of starting to... Yeah, it's rusted through here. And as you heard, there's a lot of loose parts in this. So when ordering this cylinder, I did look at a new exhaust for this. The standard exhaust is supposed to go on the side here, not up like that. It was a little bit of 300 euros, and I thought I might buy that later, but now I just want to get this started. So this... So the reason why there's a bolt going out like this is that Grandpa's father tried to start this, I believe in -30 or something like that. And he used ether to get it started. And he had a little bit of an explosion. I mean, it's memorabilia in something like this, even though it's... I kind of want to replace that. So I gotta put these back on, so since there's a fan here blasting air, that thing has to reach this to cool that off. So this has to be on. Okay, so all the side covers are on now, so it can get its correct cooling. It's just the hood left. That one here. So this thing was just for a cab. It just rattles there, so I'm taking that off. So I found the tracks and the cutter there. It's just that these old barns usually contains a lot of stuff. So I've been moving stuff for like an hour now, but here it is. Tracks. That should be the cutter. And those are going, yeah, to the tires there. Oh, are they actually holding air? No, that is... Yeah, we gotta see the condition of the tires though. They gotta be connected when using the tracks there. But, I don't know. So let's get this out. So I just looked at this tire from this way and thought, oh, this isn't that bad. It's even contain air. Then I looked from this side. So yeah, that needs replacement. so this is all the accessories I could find for it. So this seems to be missing its knife. We're gonna start with the cutting with this before trying on the tracks. Yeah, with the tracks I gotta go and get some new tires. It's closed today, so we're gonna go there tomorrow. I also gonna go and get Gramps. He's the one that latest been using this stuff. I believe he said in the end of the 70s he used the tracks. So he knows how everything is going on this machine. Before doing anything else, I'm just gonna remove these tires, throw them in my car so I don't forget them. So this is actually missing the knife that's going in here. Need to go and see if I can find that.
Vad var det där? Det är problem hör du att komma ihåg allt.
Hur många år sedan är det?
Massa år sedan hör. Den här går jag att lyfta av. Det här är till plogen.
Jaha.
När du blöjer.
Ja, den var dit ja. Men då, det som saknas då, det är kniven och sen den saken som man lägger dit. Så att man får kniven att röra på sig. So we're gonna go search for the knife that goes for the Sickle mower. Gramps think he knows where it is. We're gonna go on his hunch there. Det verkar mest vara ved här.
Ja, hör.
Didn't find it there. So we just kind of go keep on going through storages. Wait, look at that. There it is. So the thing that goes from this to this, that thing is still missing. So I think I got everything complete. I just need to find that thing. Yes, I've been going around trying to search for that, but there's a lot of barns to go through here. So I gotta keep on searching. But you know what? I think we gotta cut this here. We're gonna do a follow-up on everything here. There's gonna be, I'm probably gonna have to order something. Seems like that. Gramps says there's another knife, a better knife than this, complete with this, but so yeah, it's gonna be some ordering research time, so we gotta do a follow-up on this. I guess this is long enough already. So yeah, if anyone got any knowledge of stuff like that, I mean, I have never used anything of this, but I did find a picture with a Porsche with this Sickle mover connected to it, so it's kind of easy seeing how it's supposed to be. Gramps he had to do a lot of head scratches trying to think back how this was supposed to get installed, but I had a picture of that. So yeah, I'm gonna get the tires for the tracks also so we can test that. Maybe we can go out in the forest, just hole in a pine or something like that just to get this. I want to get it working. It's been working a lot in its days. Something we can still install. So I gotta put this thing where it belongs. I have a feeling it might get a little dirty. There's already a little black spots on this, but this is terrible sitting at. There's like... Is that really supposed to be like that? Or is this seat a little weird? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it sinks in after a while. The reason for having the hood open is that I found this in the pile there. I thought that was for the battery, but this is way too big. So this is a spare for the fuel tank there. There's a lot of stuff I gotta see if I can order on this. One thing is the starter button. This is totally rusted through. And I want to have an old button like this. And I'm gonna see if I can find something that holds the battery down. Well, I can always put a strap here, but I won't like this old school stuff. So maybe I can find something to keep this down instead of having wire all around this. I'm gonna see what I can find. It's all, well, I almost have a budget for projects like this. I don't know if you can get a new hood like this, but that would certainly be something like 800. So there's easy spending money on something like this. But at the same time, this hood contains a lot of memories. It could need some restoration maybe. I don't know, we're gonna see what I gotta do with this, but the important thing for me is to get everything working. Because I wanna feel what they felt back in the days, cutting grass and using the tracks. We gotta aim on doing that. This is actually really comfortable.